Setup and operation of the model 1008 and 1010DA emboss coaters is as follows. The two models are identical except the 1008 is 8 characters, holds 8 characters, and the 1010 holds 10 characters here in the stamp holder. When the machine is received, the coater itself needs to be mounted to the back of the heat sealer. In the operating manual you'll find instructions for various sealers including Emplex, Steel-Tech, Saxon, and Hamer. Also you can contact Wise Packaging for photos that show the various setups. So the coater is bolted onto the exit end of the sealer, and typically the code is usually just above the seal line. Now what we have here is the control panel. The control panel usually is bolted onto a small framework or mounted onto the heat sealer frame. And on the top here we have the box that houses the various number stamps. We have the various compartments here. 6s and 9s are interchangeable. They just flip upside down, so you see this is actually 0 through 8, and your 6s and 9s will be in the one compartment. There is also available spacers. Spacers if you have less than 8 or less than 10 codes for some products. We have 1/2 inch wide spacers that would take the place of 2 characters, and we have 1/4 inch wide spacers that would take place of 1 character. These can be supplied also from Wise Packaging. So after the embossed coater unit is mounted onto the heat sealer and the control panel is mounted, we connect our air here to the air supply FRL, and we see that the air pressure here is set to 60 psi. That's typical. Anywhere within the range of 40 to 90 psi is fine. Typically lower pressures for thinner bags and for polyethylene bags, and higher pressures for thicker and laminated bags. The air pressure is adjusted by popping this cap up, and then we can thread it in and out. Here we see the pressure is going down, and we thread it clockwise to bring the pressure up. We'll leave this one set at 60 pounds, which is pretty good average operating range. When we're done, we just pop that cap down. That locks it in place. The coater should be topped up with lubricating oil when it arrives, when it's been mounted on the machine. This would be a Air 2 oil, or a number 5, like a sewing machine oil, or automatic transmission fluid. And it's filled. There's one of 2 ways. If with the air removed, we can actually unthread the bowl here, or we can fill again once the air is removed, the air is shut off, then we can remove this fill cap here, this black cap, and fill the oil in through there. Please note that don't fill above the maximum line shown right here on the bowl. Now after the oil has been filled, we need to set the drip rate, and it is marked on the side here. Set oiler at 1 drip per 10 cycles. So the easiest way to do it is just to trigger the coater using a bag. So if you just trip the coater by running in front of the bag in front of the photo eye, and what you'll see the oil gradually come up through this clear lens on the top, and then you'll see it form a drip. So we want approximately 1 drip every 5 to 10 cycles. That just lubricates the solenoid valve and the air cylinder on the coater. Once the oiler is filled, we can plug it into 110 volt power, and we turn the unit on. So here we see our power on light come on. Now we can test the unit at any time by pressing this switch here. So we press that in. Now what happens at the beginning of the cycle is, as we'll see when we press the test cycle, is that there's a time delay. This code delay timer here, what happens is when the bag comes through the sealer, which would actually be coming through this way, when the bag comes along, and as soon as the bag trips the photo eye here, then the delay timer starts. When the timer times out, then the code is activated. So this timer allows us to adjust the location of the code on the top of the bag. If we have this set at 0, then that means that the code will be, as soon as the bag reaches this point, the code will be activated. So that would be on the leading edge of the bag, and then as we increase the time, it will punch the code in the middle or the trailing edge of the bag. So we turn it on, we see our power on, and then if we use our bag here to trip the photo eye, we'll watch here. There we go. So again, we'll watch it here. So we see that the cylinder comes out all the way, but immediately returns. Okay, so what we want that stamp pad here, the white stamp pad, to come out all the way, hit against the number stamps, and then return. And what we'll do, we'll actually just put the number stamps in here. So to load the number stamps, we just grab this and we pivot this piece out. And then we load our stamps into place. Now, very important to shut the power off at this point, because your hand could activate the photo eye. So we load our stamps in place. Now, one small detail here, there is 2 spring-loaded set screws on this side of the stamp holder. So what we do is we just make sure not to put the last character in that place. So you see here, we'll leave one stamp on that right-hand side, and then we'll push in our last stamp, and they're held in there quite snugly by those spring-loaded plunger set screws there. What you'll find is if you put this punch in last, it might tend to get caught up on those plungers. So once our code is in place, we just pivot that back into place, and you'll feel that pop into place. Again, we have 2 spring-loaded set screws here that hold that stamp holder in a center position. Now, on most of the newer coders, what you'll see is I don't have it mounted here so that we can so I can demonstrate, but we'll have a clear safety cover. Okay, and that mounts just like this. And as you can see, that still allows us to access and pivot the stamp holder out, but prevents the pinch point, prevents someone from getting their finger in there and pinching it in the punch. And we'll just pivot our back into place. Now we turn the power on, and then we'll see as we trigger the photo on, we see the stamp pad comes out and firmly hits the number stamps and then returns. And also we see we see the light here, coder activated. That's just a visual confirmation to the operator that everything is working properly. At the end of the day, simply turn the power off